What if I told you there are men walking among us who would literally sacrifice everything, their comfort, their relationships, even their lives, for things that most people consider completely worthless? These aren't your typical alpha males craving dominance or beta males seeking approval. These are sigma males, and what they're willing to die for will shock you. Stick around, because number 4 on this list will completely change how you see loyalty forever. What's up, legends? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm your host breaking down the psychology of high-value men and the mindsets that separate the extraordinary from the ordinary. Today, we're diving deep into the enigmatic world of sigma males, the lone wolves of the social hierarchy. Now, before we jump in, let me be clear. Sigma males aren't trying to prove anything to anyone. They operate by their own code, march to their own drummer, and yes, they have things they'd literally die for. But here's the twist. These aren't the things you'd expect. Make sure to hit that like button if you're ready to understand what drives these mysterious individuals. And subscribe with notifications on, because we're about to reveal some mind-blowing truths. Let's get started. The first thing a sigma male would die for is their personal philosophy. Now, this isn't about following someone else's teachings. It's about the deeply personal belief system they've constructed through years of introspection and experience. Unlike alphas who might die for glory or betas who might die for acceptance, sigma males have spent countless hours in solitude, crafting their own moral compass. They've questioned everything society taught them and emerged with their own truth. This philosophy becomes their North Star, their unshakable foundation. A sigma male would rather face death than compromise the core principles they've forged in the fires of self-discovery. They see betraying their philosophy as betraying their very soul. It's not stubbornness, it's integrity on steroids. They've built their entire identity around these beliefs, and without them, they believe they'd cease to be who they truly are. Number 6 will surprise you. Sigma males would die for their freedom to choose, not just freedom in general, but specifically their right to make their own decisions without external pressure or manipulation. This goes way deeper than you think. We're not talking about political freedom or basic human rights. We're talking about the psychological freedom to wake up every morning and decide their own path. Sigma males have an almost allergic reaction to being controlled, manipulated, or coerced into choices they haven't made themselves. They'd rather face the ultimate consequence than live a life where someone else pulls their strings. This is why you'll never see a true sigma male in a job where they're micromanaged, or in a relationship where they're controlled. They view their autonomy as sacred, so sacred that they'd protect it with their life. The strange part? They'd die for this freedom even if the alternative choice was objectively better for them. It's not about the outcome, it's about who gets to decide. Here's where it gets really interesting. Sigma males would die for their right to authentic self-expression. But here's the twist. They're not talking about expressing themselves to others. They're talking about expressing themselves for themselves. Most people express themselves to get validation, attention, or acceptance. Sigma males express themselves because staying silent about who they truly are feels like spiritual death. They'd rather face actual death than spend their lives wearing masks and pretending to be someone they're not. This is why you'll often find sigma males in creative fields or unconventional careers. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're trying to stay true to their inner voice. And if society rejects them, if they face criticism or even danger for being authentic, so be it. They see living a fake life as worse than not living at all. The strange part. They'd make this sacrifice even if no one would ever know the difference. It's not about external validation. It's about internal congruence. Now we reach number 4, and this is where sigma males reveal their deepest secret. They would die for their chosen few. But here's what makes this strange. It's not about quantity, it's about the profound quality of connection. While most people have hundreds of acquaintances and dozens of friends, sigma males typically have 1 to 3 people they consider genuinely close. These aren't family members they were born with or colleagues they work with. These are souls they've chosen to let into their inner circle. The loyalty a sigma male feels toward these chosen few is something most people will never understand. They've spent most of their lives alone, building walls, keeping people at distance. But when they finally let someone in, when they choose to trust someone with their true self, that bond becomes sacred. They would literally take a bullet for these people. Not because of obligation or social expectation, but because losing someone they've genuinely chosen to love feels like losing a piece of their soul. Remember, Sigma males don't love easily or often. So when they do, it's with an intensity that borders on the spiritual. Here's the strange part. They'd die for these people even if those people didn't know how much they meant to them. Sigma males rarely express their deepest feelings, but they'd prove them with their lives. Number 3 reveals something profound about the Sigma mindset. They would die for their life's work. But this isn't about career success or making money. It's about their personal mission, their contribution to the world that only they can make. Every Sigma male has something they feel called to do, create, or accomplish. It might be writing a book that changes how people think, mastering a skill that pushes human boundaries, or solving a problem that others have given up on. This isn't about fame or recognition. It's about fulfilling their unique purpose. They see their life's work as their legacy, their reason for existing. They'd rather die pursuing something meaningful than live a comfortable life doing something meaningless. This is why Sigma males often appear obsessed or single-minded. They're not chasing external rewards. They're chasing their own destiny. The strange thing, they'd pursue this work even if they knew they'd never see it completed, even if they knew they'd die trying. It's not about the destination. It's about honoring their calling. We're getting deep now. Number 2. Sigma males would die for their inner truth, the knowledge they've gained about themselves and reality through years of introspection and observation. While most people accept the truths that society hands them, Sigma males have spent countless hours in solitude, questioning everything, observing patterns, and reaching their own conclusions about how the world really works. They've developed insights that they consider precious beyond measure. These aren't necessarily profound philosophical revelations. They might be simple truths about human nature, about what really matters in life, or about how to live authentically. But because they've discovered these truths themselves, rather than being told them, they hold them sacred. A Sigma male would rather die than be forced to deny what they know to be true. They see their inner truth as their most valuable possession, more valuable than money, status, or even relationships. It's the fruit of their years of self-discovery, and they'd protect it with their life. The strange part? These truths might seem obvious or simple to others, but because the Sigma male discovered them personally, they're willing to die defending them. And finally, the number 1 thing Sigma males would die for: their mental sovereignty. This is their ultimate treasure. Complete ownership over their own thoughts, beliefs, and mental space. Sigma males have worked incredibly hard to free their minds from external programming. They've identified and rejected the limiting beliefs that society tried to install in them. They've overcome conditioning, propaganda, and social pressure to think for themselves. Mental sovereignty means no one else gets to decide what they think, believe, or value. It means their thoughts are their own, their opinions are self-formed, and their worldview is personally constructed. This is their greatest achievement and their most prized possession. They would literally rather die than have their mind controlled, manipulated, or programmed by others. They see mental slavery as worse than physical death. This is why Sigma males are so resistant to peer pressure, social movements, and groupthink. They've fought too hard for their mental freedom to give it up now. The strange part? They'd die protecting this mental sovereignty even if no one was actively trying to take it away. Just the possibility of losing control over their own thoughts is enough to trigger their deepest protective instincts. This is what separates Sigma males from everyone else. They've achieved something most people never even attempt: complete mental independence. And they'd rather face death than lose it. So there you have it, 7 strange things Sigma males would literally die for. From their personal philosophy to their mental sovereignty, these lone wolves operate by a completely different value system than the rest of society. Now, here's what's fascinating. Notice how none of these things are about external validation, material success, or social status. Sigma males would die for internal treasures, things that exist in their mind, heart, and soul. They've realized that everything external can be taken away, but what's internal belongs to them forever. Does this resonate with you? Are you someone who values internal treasures over external rewards? Let me know in the comments which of these 7 things you connect with most. And if you think like a Sigma male, tell me what you would add to this list. If this video opened your eyes to the Sigma mindset, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel reach more people who are ready for this level of truth. Subscribe and hit that notification bell because we're just getting started exploring the psychology of high-value men. Next week, we're diving into the dark psychology tactics Sigma males use to read people. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one. Until then, remember, The world needs more people who think for themselves, who value authenticity over approval, and who would rather die free than live controlled. Stay Sigma, legends. I'll see you in the next one.